I think it's very entertaining. I do. But I love music. I love to hear the voice. In December 2002, Whitney Houston walked into what should have been a simple TV interview. She was there to promote her new album, but the host had other plans. What started as friendly chat quickly turned into an interrogation about drugs and scandals. Then Whitney said something that shocked America. One sentence that was so bold, so unexpected, it became legendary. Overnight, the entire room went silent, and the interviewer didn't know how to respond. That single moment became more famous than any song she ever sang. Whitney Houston was born on August 9, 1963 in Newark, New Jersey. And right from the start, she wasn't just another child in the hospital. Her birth was like opening the door to a storm of talent. Her mother, Houston, was already a Grammy-winning gospel powerhouse who founded the Sweet Inspirations and sang backup for Elvis Presley and Aretha Franklin. Her father, John Russell Houston Jr., was once a soldier and later worked as a city official in Newark. But even that wasn't the whole story. The blood in Whitney's veins carried music and history. Dionne and Dee Dee Warwick were her cousins. Aretha Franklin was her aunt. Opera legend Leontyne Price was family. Darlene Love, the voice behind so many hits, was her godmother. And as if that wasn't enough, her great-great-grandfather Jeremiah Burke Sanderson had fought for civil rights in the 1800s. Whitney wasn't just born into music. She was born into legacy. But the world she entered wasn't peaceful. When she was just 3 years old, in 1967, the Newark race riots exploded around her family's home on Wainwright Street. Sirens, flames, gunshots. These weren't just on TV. They were outside her window. Her childhood was marked by fear and unrest, and things at home weren't stable either. Her parents had married in 1964, just months before her first birthday. But by the time Whitney was a teenager, the marriage was falling apart. Her father had a heart attack that almost killed him, and the emotional damage inside the house matched the chaos outside. They separated when Whitney was 17. But the official divorce dragged on for nearly 10 more years. Around the same time in 1970 was launching her solo career, so the family had to move to a quieter neighborhood in East Orange. Whitney was caught between a broken home and a world on fire. And somehow she still found music. She didn't find it by accident. At age 5, not 11 like some people think, Whitney joined the choir at New Hope Baptist Church in Newark. Her mother, as choir director, gave her professional training before most kids even learn multiplication. By 11 she sang Guide Me, O Thou Great Jehovah as her first solo. But what no one realized was that she had already been in the choir for 6 years. Her voice was so powerful even then that at age 12 she told her mother she wanted to become a professional singer. The church became her classroom. She learned the piano, soaked up the fiery spirit of Pentecostal worship, and by 15 she was already singing backup on Chacon's I'm Every Woman in 1978. By the time she was 14, she wasn't dreaming of singing professionally. She already was. She started working with her mother's band, singing background vocals at real shows. In 1978, when she was just 15, she sang on the Michael Zager band's Life's a Party. That song didn't make her famous, but industry insiders started noticing the range, the control, the spark. She was also hitting jazz clubs with her mother, learning how to move across a stage, how to keep an audience with her from the first word to the last note. Soon she was backing artists like Lou R.S. Herbie Mann and the Neville Brothers. This wasn't teenage talent. It was already the making of a star. In early 1980, she started getting paid to sing in clubs. By 17, Whitney was becoming a regular on the Manhattan circuit. Places like Reno Sweeney McKell's and Sweetwater's gave her real stages, real pressure, real applause. One unforgettable moment happened in February 1978 at Town Hall. She wasn't even the headliner. Her mother was. But when Whitney stepped up to sing Tomorrow from Annie, the crowd rose to their feet. She wasn't just a girl with a good voice anymore. She could stop time. These performances, night after night, shaped the voice that would one day define a generation. But while her music was rising, something unexpected happened. A modeling scout saw her perform at Carnegie Hall and knew instantly she belonged in front of a camera too. In 1980 she signed with Click Models and then moved to Wilhelmina. The following year, in November 1981, she became one of the first black women ever on the cover of 17. She was 17 years old. And this wasn't just fashion, it was history. The camera loved her. She did ad spreads in Cosmopolitan Glamour and even a Canada Dry commercial. Her face became familiar across the country, but she never let it distract her. Modeling was a way to pay bills. Music was the dream. Even while balancing fame, Whitney stayed in school. She attended Mount St. Dominic Academy, a Catholic all-girls school in Caldwell, and somehow graduated in 1981 despite missing classes for photos and recording sessions. Her mom refused to let her drop out. Offers were already pouring in but made her wait. It was smart. After graduation, she signed a deal with Terra Productions and started working with Gon Harvey, who became her manager. The discipline she learned from school would help her survive what came next. Then came the night that changed everything. It was 1983, a freezing winter evening in New York City, and Whitney was on stage at Sweetwater's, not even as the main act. She was just backing her mother when a man named Jerry Griffith from Arista Records saw her again. He had actually seen her sing years earlier but didn't act. This time he didn't walk away. He rushed to Clive Davis and said, "You have to see her." Davis came and Whitney sang The Greatest Love of All, a song Davis had helped create 10 years earlier for a Muhammad Ali movie. It wasn't just beautiful, it was personal. Davis said, "She sang with so much heart and power that he knew instantly she was different." On April 10, 1983, she signed with Arista. She was 19. The deal wasn't small. It came after serious offers from CBS and Elektra. In fact, she had already recorded Memories for Material's One Down album on Elektra, and critics called it one of the most stunning ballads they'd ever heard. Davis fought hard to keep her. He even added a rare clause. If he left Arista, Whitney could leave too. That's how much she meant to him. He originally budgeted $200,000 for her debut album, but it ballooned to $400,000. Years later, Whitney gave up the exit clause for millions. Her first official Billboard entry wasn't even solo. In May 1984, she sang Hold Me with Teddy Pendergrass. It hit number 46 on the Hot 100 and broke into the top 10 on R&B and adult charts. At the same time, she recorded songs with Jermaine Jackson and sang a duet live on As the World Turns. All of it was strategic. Clive Davis was building suspense, holding back her debut to make sure it was flawless. In the background, TV was calling too. In 1983, just 2 months after signing with Arista, she appeared on the MV Griffin show. That same year, she recorded Eternal Love for Paul Jabbar's album. She even auditioned for The Cosby Show. Nearly